Yo, this is Blackley here. I'm here to discuss the build that I made just recently, Ludwig the Holy Blade. This is going to show some PvP footage of him in action. This is his setup. This is everything you need to know about him: his level, his weapons, the ring setup, everything that needs to be known about him in detail. Um, the one things I have to say is that I spent a lot of time on this build. Like a lot of time, particularly making them, and I was off and on. So let's get this started, shall we? So the difficult part about him was getting used to the weapons that he had. These weapons are different from the ones that I would typically use. The ones in particular, as you can see, are the mannequin claws. I would say the pros of this build is that he has different types of methods of damage. He has the main method, which is magic, with his greatsword, and then he has bleed with his claws. Now the claws are very tricky to work with, in my opinion. Like, they're not like something that you should focus straight on unless you know the enemy has low not poison but bleed resistance, so that you can chip them out. It's also noted that the mannequin claws are missing the jump slash in exchange for the quick step. Now I used to equip the normal claws so that I could have the jumping slash, but it was so predictable and everybody knew I was going for it, and it just didn't allow me to proc it half the time. And even when I did, they would not get stun locked. I would jump past them or something. So I just switched to the mannequin claws because quick stepping was a feature in Bloodborne, which makes a lot more sense. I actually have a lot more fun using the mannequin claws because they allow a lot of pressure, out of the assumption that the only thing that you have going for is that the 1-2 punches with the L1. But you can always quick step and get away once you realize that they're going to attack and not parry. So they're actually pretty good weapon, especially if you switch to and from and parry like I just did right there. So I actually suggest trying them out on a real dex build or anything like that. Then we have, the actual Moonlight Greatsword. The Moonlight Greatsword is very, very, I would say, slow. And I say that because, in comparison to Bloodborne, you shot moonbeams out with every, heavy attack. All you had to do is press R2 and then the beam would come out. It didn't do as much as if you did a full charge, but a beam came out. If you backstepped an attack, it did a beam. If you did a jumping attack, you did a beam. In this game, you have to sit there and charge it all the way to fire the beam. It leaves you wide open for a backstab, and it doesn't follow up with the beam like Bloodborne. It would shoot a beam out with a full charge, and then it would do a horizontal slice, and the beam would come out. So if somebody tried to get behind you, you can punish them. This game is very lacking on that weapon design compared to Bloodborne. But the weapon is still good in terms of its damage. It's doing damage that surprised me even. The damage is still on par with the Holy Moonlight Sword from Bloodborne. Just it's barely weaker. It's slightly weaker. The Moonlight Vortex weapon art does anywhere from maybe 600 to 700, depending if you get caught on it. So it does just about as much as the one from Bloodborne, except the hyper armor doesn't kick in as fast, and it doesn't have that lingering delayed attack. The energy would float around for a moment. But besides that, this is probably the most fun build that I've ever created. Um, I had more fun playing him than any of my other characters. Like I had like my first character was trying to change it around, and I turned him into a black pyromancer, and I had some fun with him, but it wasn't all that fun. But this guy here, like he made me start, making cosplays and playing as those. So I have a few other cosplays in mind that I'm gonna play with, or build and play with, and I'm gonna reveal them, and it's gonna be good. Like I'm gonna start this because I have a lot of creative ideas that I think the game Dark Souls 3 deserves to like have that variety, because I think what's lacking in Dark Souls 3 is like variety and creative builds. Like in Dark Souls 1, people made like giant pig monsters and Izalith, like the Quelana and things like that. But in Dark Souls 2, I made like a giant robot, like these Mastodon Guardian of the Meek. I didn't stream at the time, so I couldn't show it, but I got a lot of hate mail because people hated that thing. It was a fucking monster. But even in Bloodborne, people were making like Priscilla cosplays and things like that. In Dark Souls 3, I hardly see any cosplays unless it's Ornstein. That's the Ornstein and maybe what's his name? The Nameless King. That's the only cosplays I see. And I've seen a couple of what's his name? Soul of Cinders. Maybe like 2 of them. So what I really believe is like people are lacking that innovation, that makes the game fun, because they're so focused on winning that they don't want to be, creative with their builds. You can be creative with a build and win at the same time. It just takes, a little bit more effort and thought behind it into making the build proficient. Like for example, like this guy, like it's very tricky because in order to hit, your spacing has to be on point. Like everything has to be on point. It's not like the typical weapon that, it has the extra phantom reach and all that other stuff. Like this weapon is like if you're not where you're supposed to be and all that, you get punished. Same thing with the claws. If you attack too much, you get parried. It's easy to counteract. So like you have to be on your toes when it comes to certain weapons. And I think that people don't really want that. They want it to be powerful, but they want it to be easy to handle. They don't want that extra challenge. They don't like to lose. Like me, I lose a lot, but I really don't like complain too much about losing, especially if I'm playing with a build like this, because I expect to lose, especially against certain weapons. But I've seen a lot of people make all types of crazy like builds, like they made like the Shadows of Yharnam and things like that. So I don't think, like I said, it's not the game, it's not Dark Souls 3, it's just the community as a whole. Like their mentality is very, very, like, I don't even have a word for it, but I would say uninspired. Like they just don't want to do anything fun. It's sad, really, but like it comes around. I made this guy here and enjoyed it more than anybody else that I've ever made. I have a few more. Like I said, I have a few more cosplays. They're Bloodborne based. I'll let you know that. I haven't really decided which one I'm gonna do next, but I have about 2 or 3 in mind, and then I have to decide which one I want to start with next. So I'm gonna keep that like a surprise. But as far as you know, like I said, it's a Bloodborne based character. But this guy right here, he was so salty, I think, that he healed, and I just healed up. I only had like 2 Estus left anyway, because I kept killing people in this fight club. So when he showed along, I didn't only had 2, but he has like all of his Estus. Like, look at that, the freaking thrust on the fucking Moonlight Greatsword. Like the vortex is so nasty. Like if you do like a running attack and you walk into that, it just craps all over you. It's just like Bloodborne. That's why I love the weapon. Like it doesn't look as cool as the one in Bloodborne either. But when I saw the Moonlight Vortex, I was like, okay, I can make this work. Another problem with this build, I would say, is what's happening right now. Like you don't have throwing knives, you don't have anything to catch the player. You know, he's just circle. He's gonna keep rolling away, and you have to catch them with the greatsword. You don't want to pull out the claws and do the running attack because like the running attack is like parry bait. Like you will get parried. But I managed to beat him because he tried to run up and do like a running attack. But I caught him in the midst of it. But yeah, this game's very fun if you put some thought behind it. I was kind of thinking like, oh, I don't like it, so I haven't been playing it for a while. But I think really the reason why I stopped playing it for a certain amount of time is because I was playing with something that I didn't enjoy. So if you're playing with something, you know, and you're bored, it's because you're not enjoying what you're playing with. I think that's the only explanation for why you're not having any fun. So you should like sit down and think of something creative to make the game thrilling. Because that's what I had to do. Like, even when I stream, I'm going to be streaming with him and the other cosplays. I'm not going to make any other builds anymore based around something. They're all going to be cosplays, except maybe the one Black Pyromancer. Yeah, this Fight Club has been going on for like 20 minutes, and I was fighting the entire time, running out of Estus Blast. I didn't expect to last this long in the Fight Club because, you know, this is a freaking cosplay. I'm not expecting to win. I expected to get more footage of me losing, but to the contrary, I won probably like 75% of my matches. Like when I first started off, I was losing, but when I warmed up, you know, it got used to my weapons, especially the mannequin claws. I learned how to, you know, to put some work in with them. But this is I'm having so much fun. Like for the past couple days playing with this guy, it's beautiful. This person right here, like she really knows what she's doing. And even me, I was having some difficulty like pinning her down because I knew she was gonna go for the parry, so I didn't want to pull out the claws. I started like panicking and oh shit, like she's gonna beat the fuck out of me. So I did manage to pull out the claws, but I was thinking that was only for the quick step. But that wouldn't work. So she does manage to beat me and end my streak. I will return soon with more cosplays, especially depending on how my work week is. The more days that I'm off and I'm not doing anything or outside or hanging out with friends, the more time that I can spend on making builds. So there will be a lot of more cosplays, and I'll have to do a lot of more brainstorming because I will probably make a whole lot of them, not just 3. This is Black 5G. I will catch you guys later. Peace.